We in Utah treat drug users as if they are hardened criminals. We charge them with possession, and rather than try to assist them with their drug use, we either send them back to wherever they came from or place them in prison. We do not have a solid moral code when it comes to dealing with drug users, and we never have. We must adopt a better way of dealing with drug users that does not include sending them to jail for inconsequential substance use. It is not only harmful, but honestly despicable the way we currently treat drug users. While our reasoning for it may seem sound to many, there is no acceptable reason to treat them this way. They are human beings. While I won't touch on the racist undertones of these laws, I will mention that we wouldn't have laws anywhere similar to these if not for racism. We need to overhaul our current legal system not only for drug use, but for everything. Sticking with how our legal system treats drug users, though, it is obvious that we are far too harsh on these people. It is rare for the user themselves to be harming others through their use, and yet we treat it as though it is. While there is no real reason for this, it has been deemed acceptable by society at large. It is difficult to adjust our current system with our current laws surrounding drug use to be more fair to users, and so I believe that we must decriminalize drugs. This helps by not having stringent policies to follow after the arrest of users, as well as getting rid of mandatory minimums for drug users. The 3 strikes you're out rule simply isn't humane. In some cases, it can take far less than 3 attempts to get clean. In others, it can take hundreds. However, the point of this video isn't to convince you about decriminalization. It is to convince you that we are not properly dealing with substance users in Utah. To help paint the picture, in 2017, over 60% of the residents of Utah were Mormons. And despite the strict forbidding of using any sort of drug by the church, Utah still managed to have the 7th highest drug overdose rate in the U.S. between 2013. This is despite only 6% of Utahns reporting ever having used illicit substances, a substantial amount less than the national average of 8%. In conclusion, it is evident that Utah's treatment of drug users is deeply flawed and requires immediate reform. The current approach, which harshly penalizes and incarcerates individuals struggling with substance use, is not only ineffective, but also morally reprehensible. Instead of offering assistance and support to those in need, we perpetuate a system that exacerbates the problem and perpetuates social injustices. It is high time for a comprehensive overhaul of our legal system, especially regarding drug use, and a shift towards decriminalization. By embracing a more humane and compassionate approach, we can begin to address the root causes of addiction and strive for a society that genuinely supports its citizens' well-being, treating them with dignity and respect regardless of their struggles. Let us unite in advocating for change and empowering individuals with the help they deserve. Together, we can create healthier, more compassionate Utah that stands as a model for positive reform in addressing drug use and addiction.